Hey guys, my name is John, and I just wanted to say thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to listen in. And to start out, I just wanted to raise a few questions and maybe have you think for a little bit. So, the first question I have is: have you ever had to worry about not being able to get gas for your car? Probably not, since it's something we've always had access to. Now, my second question is: I want you to think about this. When was the last time you thought about how much trash you're throwing away in a week? You probably don't think about this very often, but just like with oil, we're dealing with a limited resource, and that's space. So we're left with this final question, and that is what happens when these resources run out? And that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about here. In today's presentation, I'm going to talk about how companies support and contribute to environmental causes in action to three main strategies. First, we have sustainable practices and how they reduce energy use and resources. Next, we will talk about how companies create environmentally friendly supply chains. And lastly, we will hit on the importance of reducing waste by reusing and recycling. So, to kind of kick things off, let's talk about sustainable practices. One of the most common ways companies support the environment is by switching to renewable energy. According to globalbrandsmagazine.com, quote, companies that invest in energy efficient technologies can lower their carbon emissions and overall environmental impact, end quote. Some of these companies that are trying to strive to reduce their carbon footprint are places like MedPace, Meta, Amazon. Actually, in 2021, um, MedPace started their project to install solar panels at their main campus in Cincinnati, and now they create anywhere between 800 to 900,000 kilowatts of energy. To kind of put that in perspective for you guys, that is equivalent to powering 85 homes a year, according to an article by SolarReviews.com. Another common company strategy is switching to energy efficient lighting and appliances. Albertson, which is a California grocery chain, said to have upgraded their store's appliances to energy efficient ones back in 2010. This included anything from HVAC systems, coolers, LEDs, etc. Another honorable mention is Walmart. On top of implementing renewable energy sources, they've installed several LED lighting and energy efficient appliances across multiple stores. Other great examples of companies implementing sustainable practices include water conservation efforts and corporate responsibility reports. So, next up, we have companies making their supply chains more eco friendly. One way to do this is by having sustainable sourcing. Some companies, like Patagonia, source some of their products from responsibly harvested trees to avoid relying on fossil fuels to create their rubber. Uh, we've seen them partner with multiple cotton farmers from across the globe to exclusively use virgin cotton grown using organic practices. IKEA has even made strong investments in sourcing their materials from responsibly sourced wood and other renewable materials. One of the better known ways to make company supply chains greener is by the implementation of green transportation. Amazon is probably the most well known company using electric trucks and other low carbon vehicles to deliver customer goods. But there's also a UK based parcel delivery company called Every that powers some of their fleets using different kinds of alternative fuel sources like compressed natural gas sourced from food waste, while also using the conventional electricity to power their delivery vans. So my last main strategy is reducing waste by reusing and recycling. For example, companies like Apple demonstrate reduction by packaging their electronics in sleek, minimalistic boxes. And it's probably something we've all seen and even admired. I know I am. With reusing waste, we are taking what could have been in a landfill and repurposing it. I know I've mentioned this company already, but Patagonia does do a really good job by taking uh, old fish nets and reutilizing them by turning them into clothes for their ocean waste collection. This ties into my next point regarding recycling. This is a great way for companies and individuals to do their part in contributing to a more sustainable future. Recycling is probably the most common strategy companies use to support environmental efforts. Many workplaces clearly label bins throughout their offices for materials like paper, plastic, and cardboard and other things, kind of like what we have here in this slide picture. So just to kind of recap, by incorporating sustainable practices, building environmentally friendly supply chains, and embedding principles of reducing waste by reusing and recycling, companies can contribute to a greener earth. So let's do what we can and protect what we have now and lead by example for the generations to come. And, I just want to reiterate, thank you for coming out to this presentation. And I hope you guys enjoyed and you guys have a good one.